Hello, my name is David Zaritsky. Welcome to James Bond Lifestyle. Just wanted to let everybody know that this is going to be one of my favorite video podcasts because it focuses on one of my very best friends, Ed Maggiani. For those of you that don't know Ed Maggiani is probably the individual who's most responsible for a lot of my collection. He's an incredible prop replicator, he's an incredible prop researcher, good friend all around. And I think you're going to enjoy the next series of video podcasts because it delves deeply into the world of Ed Maggiani. So come with me as we explore together. Okay, I think we are heading and almost to Ed Maggiani's house. Of course, you'll notice it is cleverly disguised, but inside this is no mere house. Okay, we're here with Ed Maggiani in his den of amazing pieces, and we're going to take a look at them today. Ed, let's start off right off the bat. Why Bond? You collect so many different things, but why James Bond?
Well, I guess it's because it's always interested me as a kid. I remember seeing all the films originally as a kid in the theater, and I guess the first thing that really fascinated me was the attaché case, and I've always wanted one, and it took some 40-some years, but there it is, over here.
Okay, so Ed, I mean, unless, you're hiding under a rock, everybody knows you as a prop replica maker for some time. So, tell us about the evolution between being a prop collector to jumping into the actual replication of these props.
Well, it was only because a lot of the things that I wanted just weren't out there to buy. So I started making them. And it's not just the Bond. I've made other things. The spyboys.com website, if you go there, you'll see that there's a lot of other replicas from other spy genre. There's The Man from U.N.C.L.E., Get Smart, Wild Wild West. But again, these are things that I made for myself, and I try to make the level of the detail of the prop as detailed as possible because it actually is going into my collection first. And after that, then I can share it with everybody.
I think that's an important note for everybody watching this is that, you started this because you wanted to grow your own collection.
Yeah,
and then as people were seeing these pieces, they said, well, would you mind making one more?
Right,
and then one more.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then it snowballed from there. And you
it turned into a little business.
Yeah, and you become the Q of collecting, so to speak.
All right, maybe, I guess so. I don't know.
So, Ed, question out there, everybody, every collector out there has a holy grail that they're always trying to get. Have you ever had a holy grail situation and actually found the holy grail?
Yes, actually I did. For years and years and years, I've always wanted the underwater spear gun from Thunderball, the one that Bond uses. There's several spear guns that are used throughout the film by both sides. But the one used by the Aquamarines and the one eventually used by Bond is the one that I always wanted. And again, that was one of those 40-year-some hunts that I just couldn't get any information on the thing. I mean, we've seen pictures of it, you can look at the film, do still frames, but I never had any information. And then one day I stumbled upon it. I was lucky enough to get some information, and actually I got it.
That's great.
Which is, you'll see it later, I'm sure.
Now, if you're like
That's
any addict/collector, once you get your holy grail, suddenly a new holy grail pops up.
Absolutely.
So what are you hunting now?
I guess the jetpack, which is going to be hard. I guess eventually one day I'll attempt to make one of them, since I'm not going to be able to buy a real Tektronix Bell rocket jet.
Yeah.
But if I do, I'll come sailing around your house.
Well,
and,
you know what?
You guys can come sail.
If anybody can make it, you can. That's for sure.
I don't know about that, but I'll certainly give it a try.
Right. So Ed, what people need to realize is that, you have an international business. You get requests from all over the world. I know some of the collectors, and it's amazing. But, what's hot right now? What's really flying off the shelves?
Well, I would have to say probably most collectors right now, which are probably the younger collectors, they're after everything that's from the most recent Bond. Everybody's got their own Bond.
Sure.
So right now I'm getting a lot of requests for things from mostly the Daniel Craig films, Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace. But I would have to say probably even more so than that are the older collectors
Right.
that want specifically nothing but Sean Connery.
Sure.
They want everything Connery and maybe some of the other things.
So
But
really,
they
it's
concentrate on Connery.
it's bookended if you think about
Yeah,
it. It's
very much so.
classic, Bond, traditional Bond, and then the
And
nouveau
flavor of the
Bond.
month, yeah.
That's right. That's right. Well, hopefully they make a new movie before 2012,
I know.
and we can add to
I
the
gotta
Craig
make
stuff.
more props.
That's right.
I've already made too many. I gotta make more.
Well, speaking of too many, why don't we take a look at some of these, because it's an amazing
Absolutely.
collection and it continues to grow.
Go on.
So Edward, let's take a look at the pieces, some of the more traditional pieces, and then maybe we'll even talk about the evolution of some of these props. So just jump right in.
Sure. You guys might recognize this as the helmet worn by Sean Connery in You Only Live Twice. This is a real helmet, but it has to have modifications such as the close-up lens, which is fitted on top, and again, still in a prototype stage because the Cinecam has to be fitted. Another product here you guys might recognize again from an early Connery film. It's the tape recorder that Connery has in From Russia with Love when he tells Tatiana to speak into it. That's attached to a Rolleiflex camera, which you see here. And again, this is in a prototype stage. Right now we're faking it. It's not really there. But an entire leather outfit has to be put around this so that it will encapsulate it as it was in the film.
How long did it take you to hunt down that tape recorder itself?
This is very tough. I think right now I've seen approximately 3 within the last 15 years.
Oh my gosh.
So it's not a very easy piece to find, but well worth the hunt because,
Great.
as you can see, it's a really neat piece.
So Ed, I think it's interesting that you're always improving on things. There's always an evolution of these props. So, I think this is a great example right here. Why don't you describe what we have?
Sure. This first mine from GoldenEye, this was actually made by Steve from SD Studios. It was the very first one that we researched and did together way back when. As you can see, it's got a little tag on there from Eon. And this one did absolutely nothing. It was just a static piece, but it is using exactly the exact same thing that was used in the film. I then started making them, and I moved up a little bit, and in this one, I actually put lights in it.
Hey.
So you can see it'll blink. It won't blink, rather, but it's not simulating what it does in the film. This, again, is just a static piece. There's nothing on the back. It just lays on a desk. Okay. The next step is I incorporated magnets into the 4 legs. And again, still a light up piece, but this will actually stick
Right.
when you put it up against a flat surface. And then this one is a little different because I started using earth magnets,
Oh, strong.
which are much more powerful.
Yeah.
And if you come over here, you'll see that
Oh, that
sticks
even
right to the
sounded
wall.
good.
and
Oh,
we got a couple blinkies
okay,
now,
here
so
we
we're
go.
alternating and it works a little bit better.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
All right, and then just for fun, one day I accidentally made a mistake and I turned it into this, which is really just a fake, totally fictitious view of what the inside of the GoldenEye mine looks like. And believe it or not, it does light, but the batteries are shot, so
There we go.
it doesn't work right now.
Well, it's amazing because you've actually done a whole line of these cutaway props that became so popular because some of the DK books actually show cutaway
Right,
props,
exactly.
Star Wars cutaway props, and now they have a 3-dimensional version of it.
That's right.
Absolutely amazing.
Well, I hope you enjoyed part 1. There's more to come. So stay tuned for the next James Bond Lifestyle video podcast. My name's David Zaritsky. Until then, take care.